Mr. Thomas, what's going on, brother? It's Joey Myers from Mini Performance Lab. All right, so we got 12 of 12 of our video lessons, and I wanted to do this one a little different. I wanted to start off and show one of our first swings. This isn't the exact first one. The exact first one was off of a tee, and you were hitting off of your slippery driveway or your garage flooring and everything. You didn't really have good footing there, so I wanted to pick one out that we were hitting live for one, that we had solid footing for two, and that was one of the earlier swings. So this is February, first week of February, I think February 4th or 5th or something like that on the left. This is the most current swing on the right, and what I wanted to do is play this video in normal motion, just so you can get a feel for just the regular swings, the timing, if you're swinging at decent pitches, the actual swing itself. So we're just going to kind of let this play out, these 5 or 6 swings or so, and just take a look. Some of the things we've been working on, you probably can see either not there or they're just lacking. You can see the balance isn't quite there. You can see that back hip isn't really turning, so you're not seeing it in the back foot. You can see that back heel's down. You can see you're swinging at pitches all over the place. Pitches over your head, late on balls. That was the first pitch you took there. Okay, so now let's take a look at the most current swing. Now, different angle. It's not the same exact angle here, but we can still see a lot of stuff. We can still compare. And after we see this, we're just gonna kind of maybe do one swing slow motion comparing to, then we'll compare your latest swing, which is 2 weeks ago, to what our swing is now, if we were able to do what we did. So you can definitely see a change in the actual swing tempo. Now, we're still swinging at a few pitches out of the zone, but those pitches, and most of the time it's up in the zone, and those pitches are very questionable in Little League as a strike or a ball. I don't know if I want you to swing at some of the ones that are up at your letters unless you really, really have to, because or really, really inside. You'll see one of these, you're really trying to get inside, this ball's really inside, and you have an off-balance swing and fall backwards and stuff, and those kind of balls we do not want to be swinging at. So I only saw maybe 3 balls that are questionable that probably we should be taking and trying to get a different pitch. But you can definitely see the difference. There's a good one, there's a high one that you took. So this is definitely it's right there. That was the one inside. We probably shouldn't have swung it at all. And I think last swing here was a take. One more swing. So see, that pitch is a little bit more questionable. It is probably 50-50 striker ball in Little League. So I don't know, but I would take my chances with another pitch, because pitchers aren't very good in Little League compared to college and pro ball to getting a ball in the same spot 2 times in a row, or at least close to that spot. So let's take a look, just kind of a random swing here. This is a lower pitch. Let's grab. All right, Thomas, here we go. So we got a couple swings queued up here. So we're just going to, I have them both synced. So we're going to see definitely a huge leg kick, and this was causing a lot of timing issues in the beginning. We can see over here we're more of almost like a slide step. We're just barely picking that foot up. We're coming forward. You can see that we had some issues with racing back elbow before, and I know this view is kind of tough to see, but we didn't really have these. Probably it's been about, I don't know, 6 weeks, probably longer than that, 8 weeks, maybe a couple months. We really haven't had an issue with racing back elbow anymore. We had this barrel that was dropping like foot hasn't even hit the ground. The barrel's already parallel to the ground, if not already dropping into the zone. We weren't showing our numbers. We weren't hiding our hands. We weren't in an athletic position really, with our hinge forward at our waist. We back foot we worked on, remember, with trying to get this toe to be a little bit more towards the pitcher, slightly towards the pitcher, because this was pointing at the catcher. We had, what else? We had some forward momentum, so that was good to kind of start with. We had decent knee bend at the start, although this was kind of landing straight. And but you can see a huge difference in how far your swing has come. You can see that you're using ZEP on both of these, and I assume that your ZEP readings are a lot more consistent now, at least a lot higher than probably in February, the beginning of February, and Dad can probably check that out. But we can definitely see a lot better swing, a lot better angle, a barrel launch angle from at landing. We have just so much more good stuff going on in this swing, Mr. Thomas, that you can be very, very proud of. So let me pause this video, and I'm going to bring up the latest swing before this one. Okay, so it was about 2 weeks ago. Okay, so if we compare the most recent swings, about 2 weeks apart between here on the left, 2 weeks ago over here on the right. Now being 9 years old, and you might be 10 now, Mr. Thomas, has been almost a half year, 6 months. So this is the how far you've come you've grown by leaps and bounds. I know it's been frustrating at times, and we've had some probably more frustration than breakthroughs, but that's kind of how this struggle works. And as we can see here, the racing back elbow on the left, you can see it's gone. We use the finger pressure quite a bit. As you remember, probably the first maybe 6 sessions, half the sessions was reminding you about finger pressure. And so we can see that definitely that elbow is slotting like it's supposed to and moving through. But what we had to work on was hiding the hands. Now again, two different views, but you can tell here on the left that you're not hiding the hands. You're bringing them down, and you're bringing them down, but not necessarily hiding them. We can see here on the right, let's see if we can, I know you're definitely hiding them there. It looks like you're hiding them better there than you are over here on the left. So great job there. Also showing the numbers. Okay, we can tell from this angle you're showing the numbers a lot better. But I don't really see that front shoulder moving in too much on the left. As you can see, it doesn't look like you're really showing your numbers on the left, but much better on the right. You can see that. And also the hinge, we talked about the hinge, or the hunch position, which definitely doing here a little bit more. Harder to see from this view easier, but not this view. But I can just tell that you're not really moving into a good athletic position to move from. But over here, we're getting a lot of elements that are coming together, look really good. You can see this barrel angle looks good still. Again, this is the better swing on the right and on the left. Yeah, so awesome job, man. Hiding the hand, showing the numbers, and the hunch position, and a better hinge position, right? So we talked about bending at the waist a little bit better. You can see right here on the right versus over here on the left. Again, it's not the best view, but you can tell you are bending a little bit, but it's just not quite a lot. You can see somewhat of a hunch here. You can see you're coming down, your shoulders are coming down a little bit like you're hunching, but you can see that front shoulder's already starting to pull open before your front foot's even hitting the ground. You can see pulling open right here. So that's why we needed to, on the left, so that's why we needed to show our numbers a little bit longer to landing. But this looks so much better, man. I'm so proud of you and how far your swing has come, and even over the last couple weeks, the things that we were working on, we're banging them out. I know Dad's been saying that our mechanics really haven't been transferring as well in the game. I want to see that video and see. I bet they're transferring a little bit better than that first session. Maybe not within the last couple weeks of what we've been working on yet, because you just still need some time. It takes 66 days to create a habit, or get a habit to stick. So it's still going to take some time, but during training, you just got to keep working on it. Keep in mind that you don't want to do the 10 to 15 swing rounds. You want to keep it to 3 to 5 swing rounds, and each swing that you take is 100%. Whatever swing that you take in a game intensity-wise needs to be the same in practice. We just take less swings in practice to kind of mimic the game. So just keeping that in mind. I know we've talked about this before. Okay, so what are we going to work on? So there's the pat on the back. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so what are we working on? So I saw in this round, and as we played it in full motion, you could see that you're swinging at some pitches that were just a little too high. They might have been crossing, possibly, they're borderline pitches, so they probably could be called strikes into the league. So kind of at this range here that we're swinging at. This pitch obviously was a good one, but some of these are a little high, I think, and that pitch was good. It's a little bit out of our strike zone, and I think that one is borderline. That pitch was up, that we had to almost tomahawk down. If we can kind of bring the barrel, so you can see that the barrel is having to kind of chop down on this ball. So I think plate discipline stuff. So you and Dad, during your sessions, your 3 to 5 swing sessions, at the end of each swing, or at the end of each session, 3 to 5 swing session, that Dad needs to be asking you, first question, how many strikes are we swinging at? And we should see that number go up. We should be after about 3 or 4 rounds, we shouldn't see you swinging at bad pitches. I mean, you should be, if you take a 5-swing round, you'd say, okay, maybe 1 was a ball. So 4 out of 5, you should be swinging at or strikes. If not 5 out of 5, after about 3 or 5 rounds of dad kind of asking you and bringing it to the top of your front of your mind. So that's the first question you ask after a session, or dad asks after a session. And then the second question is, are we on time? And I think most of these we were on time. We were a little out in front, or behind on one, I think. No, out in front more, I think. From this angle, it's kind of tough to judge, but I think we were pretty much, most of these swings we were on time. We were just swinging at bad pitches, like the one that was towards the end here. This one that we fell all over the place. I mean, this one's way inside. You're having to really pull your hands inside. Your feet are leaving behind you. I mean, everything's, way inside. So that's not a good pitch to swing at. Our mechanics are going to break down when we're not swinging at good pitches. So we want to make sure we're swinging at good pitches is number one. So plate discipline is the first thing we need to make sure we're working on and getting better at. Again, at your age, this is something that most kids your age have to deal with. So it's nothing against you, brother. It's just what we got to deal with. We've got to get good at plate discipline. The other thing is that we're seeing quite a bit of is especially this round. The 2 weeks ago you were a little better with holding on with that our top hand finger pressure. So this was maybe a little outside or out in front on this ball, but we're letting go a little early. Now that one, of course, is obviously why you did there. Let's see if we can grab another one. Okay, this is a little better. A little out in front here too, maybe a little outside pitch, but you stayed in there a little bit better. But we're letting go at about this point here. So I want to see us practice a two-handed finish. Okay, so we're gonna, and I've seen you do it over here. You did it over here in a couple swings. Let's see. I think that one. Yeah, there you go. So two-handed finish. This is what a two-handed finish means. So you're holding on with both hands through the finish. Okay, and I think even this one we were working on finger pressure. So I want to see you working on a two-handed finish and not letting go with the top hand at all. Okay, until we can get good at it, and then we can work on releasing the top hand. But for right now, our problem, and that's one of our challenges has been over the course of these 12 sessions, has been that top hand letting go too early. So let's work on two-handed finish. Okay, I don't really have a drill video for that. Just we need to work on a two-handed finish, better plate discipline. Also balance on your finish. So some of these were not balanced like this swing. This swing you were really balanced. Sometimes you're falling off. And again, sometimes it's probably because you're swinging outside the strike zone, you're falling off balance, you're swinging at pitches maybe above your letters in your neck area, and of course you're going to fall off balance, or balls way inside or way outside. Those are timing issues. Sometimes if we're out in front, it's a timing issue, so we got to fix timing. Sometimes we're not swinging at strikes, we might be off balance. But so we got to get better at those two things first and foremost. But also too, not letting that back heel hit the ground, which is causing us sometimes to fall off balance. The other thing that I want to do is, since we're working on a two-handed finish, I think we did maybe last time or within these 12 sessions, worked on getting more extension. So getting this extension, this what we call a power V with the arms past impact, not at impact, but post impact. But we want the barrel to chase the ball. We want you're kind of pulling your hands away outside of your body, behind you, too soon. So we're going to work on the check swing extension drill. Okay, so let me bring up a video real quick just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, and we'll close the session. All right, Thomas, here's Hank Aaron. He's a good example of a two-handed finish and also letting the barrel chase the ball. So here's what I'm talking about. So what happens is after he makes contact, is you're going to see the ball's going to go to about left center field, okay? And what you see is this barrel chasing the ball where that ball is traveling. And you'll see the same thing happen if he were to hit this to right center field over here. You're going to see his barrel chase the ball until it runs out of room, and then it'll circle around. But you can also see the two-handed finish here. So he keeps both hands on the bat as he finishes, and he finishes up above the shoulder or so. So that's what we're doing, man. If you got any questions on that, just let me know. But I'm real proud of you and all the hard work you put in. And we'll see. We continue this session, and looking forward to seeing your progress, brother.
The Hitting Performance Lab wants to know, did you know that reducing ground balls and swing and miss strikeouts has less to do with hand path and more to do with knee action? Have you ever heard, finish taller? To drive the ball, you have created a free video revealing the results of a scientific study that showed a reduction in ground balls of 27% and an increase in productive balls in the air of 24% over 200 swings without messing with hand path. Click here now to get the video while it's still free.